Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and an event happened yesterday. I want to call it a singularity, because it's probably only going to happen once, at least for the foreseeable future, where one of the biggest feminists on YouTube, Laci Green, made a video titled Taking the Red Pill, where she essentially boiled her entire thing down to saying, I'm open for discussion. I'd like to know your guys' points of view on things, and I don't want to block you or shut down any kind of conversation or dialogue, and let's talk about these issues. And it pretty much took a lot of us by surprise. It did. It took a lot of us by surprise. A lot of people were just kind of like, what? This is unheard of. This is not right. This is wrong. But on the anti-feminist, anti-social justice side of the commentator community on YouTube, everyone basically was like embracing her with open arms. Like, come on in, Laci, give me a hug. Myself included. And I still think that. I'm very much impressed at how she's approaching this. I'm not without my reservations, to be perfectly 100% honest with you, but not a lot of that has to do actually with her take on feminism or social justice warriors, so on and so forth. That more has to do with fair use and her takedowns of videos that were using her image in the thumbnail. That happened a few months ago. Roaming Millennial was targeted. A few other people are targeted. And it's a load of shit because Laci Green was an absolute hypocrite in that regard, considering the fact that she used people like Justin Bieber and other people in her thumbnails for her videos without garnering permission from them first. So it's kind of like a, really, Laci? Really? But all that aside, what she did yesterday in terms of wanting to open a dialogue is some obviously kick-ass steps in the right direction. But it wasn't entirely met with open arms from her side. In fact, the political divide that comes from the opposite side of this particular coin, oh man, they weren't having none of it. Steve Shives came out swinging, saying shit like, I don't want to befriend anti-feminists. I want to befriend people at YouTube to take down their channels. I'm sure he was being a little bit on the facetious side, but still, come on, Steve. That's a cunt move. All right, take down people's channels because you disagree with them. That's a feminist. Oh no, wait, hold on. You're a male feminist, clearly. That's your go-to thing. Cat Black freaked out. A number of other YouTubers were just losing their collective shit at a dialogue being opened up. But see, the thing is, though, it wasn't like just Laci came out of nowhere and made this thing a reality. It wasn't like she just kind of woke up one day and went like, maybe I need to have a discussion. It's kind of been building to this. But it's good. She took a break for a while, right? She came back, but in the meantime, said she was looking at other people's viewpoints, trying to garner other pieces of opinion, came across Blair White's stream, liked what Blair White had to say, reached out to Blair. They had a discussion, I guess you could call it a debate on YouTube, that for all intents and purposes was one of the most boring live streams I've ever seen. And that's not to the fault of either Blair or Laci. It just wasn't what I think a lot of people were really wanting it to be. But that being said, 10,000 people were watching that motherfucking shit live. 10,000 people were watching. That clearly was impactful. And then here comes Jeff Holiday and Wizard of Cause, and they're like, yo, what's up, girl? You want to play some Quiplash? And Laci's like, aight. Then they play Quiplash, and they're talking, and they're having fun. They're just hanging out. Then all of a sudden, Chris Ray Gun posts a picture with Laci Green, and it's like Laci is now kind of talking to these people, these shitlords, if you will, that a year ago, not even a year ago, 6 months ago, there's literally no way in hell she would even remotely fucking associate with. It's amazing how far a little bit of dialogue goes. It is. It really is amazing how far that kind of dialogue will go. But it's not perfect. As I said, as much as I am willing to embrace the situation as it is, I still have trepidations in terms of the false content ID claims, because that is some shit that affects all of us, and that's not gender-based. That literally is a copyright issue, and that's something all of us on this platform fight for constantly. So to watch it abused and then never be discussed again is not something I can fully support. I just want to hear I'm sorry I did it. I won't do it again, so on and so forth. That's a simple I'm sorry would suffice on so many levels. And the thing is, there are a lot of people out there on the anti-social justice warrior side that are acting as much or as crazy as the feminists are. That are just like, no talking. You can't talk to the other side. That is heresy. We saw this with the whole Blair White Laci Green stream. A few people out there collectively losing their shit over it. They're just like, no, you're a heretic. Expunge them, and like some kind of moral authority, some kind of YouTube skeptic community purist bullshit. And it was like, no, come on, fuck that noise. Fuck that shit. Let's talk. Because that's ultimately what everything that we've gone on about for the last 5 years boils down to. Talking. People just want to have a conversation. But it's, again, very much like the American political system, and I'm sure even other countries' political systems as well, where you have the left, you have the right, and even though it may not be all left or all right, in that, there's a space there, and that continues to widen the further you get away from dialogue and conversation. And so seeing somebody come out, someone as prominent as Laci, coming out and saying, like, let's see what's going on here, it's a big deal. Now, other people have argued that Laci's doing this purely from a financial standpoint, that coming out to the other side is a way to save face on YouTube, simply because her numbers have been dropping. Her numbers have been going away, views, subs, all that kind of stuff. But to be fair, in that particular regard, she also hasn't been posting as much. And YouTube has this notorious sub glitch, even though YouTube completely says that thing doesn't happen, which I hear people daily now telling me that they're unsubbed from my account. So it's no, it's a problem. So that could be an argument as well. But I get why people are skeptical about this. I get it. I understand it. I totally get it. And I'm not saying go in 100%, like head first and just like come in for the loves and everything. But it's good to establish a dialogue, because through dialogue and conversation, you then open up the veins of communication. When you start talking, whether or not you agree on everything, it doesn't matter. You're still having a dialogue. That dialogue can actually lead to understanding, maybe change, maybe compromise, and most importantly, man, this is the best part too, maybe a friendship. Maybe a friendship. There are people on the feminist side of things on YouTube that I've seen that are like avid fans of gaming, huge fans of Star Wars, stuff that I would totally get along with them with. But because of that particular issue, we can't really have that dialogue. It makes it very difficult. But if we're able to come to the center, able to talk on these issues and then find a way to move forward, maybe, just maybe, empathy kicks in. Compassion kicks in. Friendship kicks in. And then who knows where the fuck we'll be. The thing is, though, there is an inherent divide. It has been there for quite some time. And I do blame people like Anita Sarkeesian for coming in a half decade ago and acting like anyone who disagrees with her is a sexist. And then the fact that the media, the bloggers, all those left-leaning people backed up the claim without everyone's questioning whether or not they should. We saw the same thing last year with Ghostbusters and the rhetoric surrounding anyone who disliked the trailer. So yeah, and when it comes to identity politics, especially when it deals with pro-feminist things, there's been a huge divide with that, because it's always been met from the angle of sexism and misogyny, instead of just, I don't like this thing, nothing against you as a person, I just don't agree with this particular aspect. That mindset was gone. It might come back now. It could actually come back. And if it comes back, goddamn, I'm on board for that. I am, because I'm, again, I've been doing this shit for 5 years. I'm tired of the fighting. I'm tired of the constant name calling. I'm tired of the constant mudslinging. I'm tired of the response video after response video after response video, ultimately saying the same thing. And it's the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. But it never happened. Those results never changed. Now, Laci could be doing this maliciously. She could have an ulterior motive. I don't know. And the only way we're going to find out is by, well, giving her the benefit of the doubt and hoping that she is being sincere in her wanting to discuss, wanting to learn, wanting to engage. When Ian Miles Chong, who for a while was known as a turbo feminist, came around, I will fully admit, I was like, I don't trust this dude. I don't trust him at all, because him and I, we butted heads for a while. But now Ian's a cool dude. We chit-chat all the time. And you can see that he, again, may not believe in every single thing, but he's open for discussion. He's open for dialogue. And that is the best part about this, and why, when it comes to Laci, not even crossing that line to come to the other side, taking the red pill was a little bit of a misleading title, because at first I thought it was a review of the Red Pill documentary, but then also it's not her swallowing the red pill then joining the anti-sjw, anti-feminist side of things, but willing to reach across that aisle, that divide, and engage in a conversation is awesome. It's great, and it should be championed by everyone out there who really, really, really wants to see these things, get healed and see actual change and actual progress. And maybe we're there. Maybe we're at that point now where we've just gotten so full of it on both sides that people are just like, fuck it, let's do something, anything, and get that change. We could be there. And I hope to God we are. But what are your thoughts on this one? I do want to know. Do you trust Laci? Do you don't trust Laci? Do you think she has ulterior motives? Do you think she's sincere? Who else from either side would you want to see have a conversation? These are things I'm curious about. Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. If you guys haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out the videos to the right here. And if you guys want to support the channel, links below in the video description. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Peace out.